Hello and welcome to FRL F1 for the Hungaroring. I am for a different week now. I'm joined back with T-Hawk. T-Hawk, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good to hear. Sadly, I only got 16 drivers today, but we've got a couple F2 reserves making up the numbers, and hopefully we'll have
Still needs to be in the correct car.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have a bit more of a close race than yesterday. But I tell you what, a little bit of rain would make this interesting. Yeah, Cowie's not picked his car, which is
Which car is he supposed to be in?
Racing Point. So we're waiting on that. Pace, yeah, Racing Point. I think he'll automatically join the Red Bull, which is a bit of a worry. But apart from that, yeah, we're good to go. Hungary, Budapest is actually, it's not completely an old track, but it's not completely a new modern track either. It was built in 1986, and it's got a circuit length of 4.381 kilometers, and the laps is 70, but obviously we'll be doing half of that, which would be 35 as we load in. 2 DRS zones. The first, obviously, the main overtaking opportunity, if you can call it that, which is very tough, down into turn 1, and then up into turn 2 is also a DRS zone, which is a little bit more shorter and a little bit more difficult. And the lap record is held by Max Verstappen in 2019 with a 1:17.1, which, if we do get dry conditions, should definitely easily be beaten, shouldn't it, T-Hawk?
Well, in the race, yeah, I guess it should be beaten. Of course, if we get dry conditions, we might just get wet conditions like we did yesterday. Making overtaking completely impossible for the drivers.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think. Well, wait, I should probably wait to see if it's raining.
Let's see. It's
And
looking
it's
cloudy.
dry. So similar to F2, so far at least, it looks to be dry. Interesting.
If someone can tell us in the comments.
I mean, it would be nice surprise. It would be a nice surprise. So I'm not going to go looking too much, but it's definitely going to be interesting. In terms of in the past, last year it was Montana, obviously Phantom, I think he was called at the time, who won. Mazzina won that, and he's not in today. I think O. Stevens taking his place, and just before that it was, I believe, Matt TU in season 9. So all the previous 3 seasons of race winners we actually don't have here at the moment, as Cowie's left. I think this happened last time, so
I did tell him that he should take the Racing Point, so hopefully. Well, no, he's in the AlphaTauri now, but I don't know what he's doing. A new driver, of course. Is it his first race today?
Nah, he drove in Britain, a really good race, where I think he got P6 with his teammate Pace in P5. So, a strong pairing, as I think Zero's the furthest out on track on the mediums.
Before he starts,
he's
especially
joined.
considering the tyre selection, predictions for quali.
Oh, quickly, yes. I think it'll be gents. No, I think Pace will get pole. I'll say David second, and I think Amenda will get third. Bit random, but yeah.
I think Peter will for pole, David second, Amanda third. The top runners will probably qualify in mediums, as we are on board with Zero now, going to turn 1.
Ooh, bit wide.
This is the impact on those medium tires without a lot of grip. Going down towards turn 2. Again, bit wide on the apex. It is difficult to get those mediums working in quali. Might be better if we do 2 runs directly after each other and he goes right, and that's an invalidation.
I think I remember Zero saying in qualifying, as he nearly loses it, he wasn't going to do any practice for this, or at least I guess not much, so Zero certainly might have under practice for Hungary. which isn't ideal because it is quite a technical track. Yeah,
especially since you and I know how he'll set up fields around here. If he's still doing the same, that's not gonna be nice for him.
Well, I think Arno is the next, but that's just a guess. He's
Arno's
just navigating some traffic because there's a Williams who's starting his lap. Sorry. So yeah, Arno's going to set the pace here. See whether he'll be already faster than F2 pole. I think it was a 14.2, but 14.5, solid lap.
It was a 13.6.
Yeah.
Set by you. Jensen.
14.4, that's fairly fast as well. Especially on the mediums, that looks competitive. Brookie, 14.1 on softs. Time starting to rack up a little bit. I think people was trying to keep their laps valid and just getting a solid banker. As Pettervol is also on a lap on the mediums as well. Oh, my bad.
It's looking fast. This could be. Yes, it is pole for Amanda.
Amanda. I think I put him P3 in my predictions with pace and on pole, but strong lap from him. He's obviously miles ahead of, well, 4/10 to Brookie. I think you can catch it up as Bull Boys once again seems to have under practiced as. God, the McLarens got very close there. I think they were giving each other slipstreams, but I'm not sure whether that was planned or not. I know they've spoken to each other, the two Spaniards. They're doing well since joining, definitely. They've been probably one of the, if not the brightest debutants who have joined over the last couple of races. But David's going purple, and he's going to come through the chicane, see if he can keep it valid, which he does. Rides over the curbs nicely. Now coming into 10, 8 and 9. Navigates that a little bit wide, so it's not optimal for David, but he's going to come through the second sector split, and it's going to be 53.0. I'm not sure whether that's going to be on track for pole, but he'll want to be near his teammate, to say the least. David just coming around the second to last corner. Round the long right-hander, which seems like it goes on forever. Try and keep a tight line. Ride the curb over the exit. Is it pole? Oh, only 4th. He did make a couple mistakes though, so shouldn't take anything
sector
away.
2. Apart from that, car looks very hooked up for him, so that's good.
Oh, Stephen might be on a lap.
Pace on a lap, coming through sector 2. Oh, Stephen. He's invalidated.
Yeah, see,
Pace, the only one on the lap right now.
The F2 champion, see what he can do. He's already got a whopping 12 points in 2 races on the board, so he's on good form coming into here. His light's flashing, so he's definitely low on fuel. He's said it's gone purple, but I think that's to his PB, as at the moment it's only going to put him P7. A lot of medium runners, which I think Pace, to say the least, will want to definitely get above them. But he's starting to run out of ERS, and I think he feels probably it's a bit pointless to maybe finish the lap. As David maybe going for another run? No. Rocco might be? Rocco is, okay. And he's on a softs. Oh, my bad. Oh no, he is on the softs. I can't tell, I think he is. As Zero's crashed.
It's turn 5, Rocco's coming up to that turn right now. Going purple in the first sector.
Oh!
That might have distracted him a bit.
I reckon he's lost it on the left hand and he's somehow just hit the wall and it's taken him an eternity to stop. I think as Rocco invalidates. But
he has 2/10 up on Amanda in the first sector, so yeah, that's a shame.
Another man who actually has really good pace around Hungary, I think, on time trial is Pelly. Pelly looks fairly strong in terms of what time trial says. See if he can go purple. He does go purple. Just keeps it valid as well. Pelly's hooking this lap up very nicely at the moment. I'm going to come through the chicane here. I want to carry as much speed as possible without losing too much time. It looks like he sent it through there. Riding over the curb as well. This looks a really strong lap from Pelly at the moment. Using very high gears as well. So he seems quite brave, I guess, with his gear choices. Don't want to run wide. And he's kept it valid. It's purple again. This looks really nice and hooked up from Pelly. This could be provisional pole. As he just navigates his way.
I can't remember when Pelly got his last pole.
Yeah, it must have been a while, but he's going to come around the last corner, Pelly, of turn 14. He goes wide, but what's it going to be? It is
Yes!
pole! Pelly takes pole by just over 1/10, sorry. But Pelly runs wide and still sets pole. I think definitely he's got a lot of time in that lap, it seems.
Yeah.
So Pelly definitely
Let's do
looking
another 10 for 2.
competitive. The thing with Pelly is he usually doesn't have the best of luck, and he's only scored 1 point this season, which was quite early in Netherlands at his home Grand Prix. So he's DNF'd a lot of races, and I think he would really want to get some solid points on the board and help Haas, who are not particularly doing as well as they probably would have hoped. As Brookie's also on a lap, so Brookie's going to come round first section, but he's half 10th up, so Brookie's not really going to gain too many spots, but if he gains another half a tenth in the other two sectors, he will move up. As Cowie has finished his lap, he goes P3. Brookie just looks like he
match Amanda in the first sector.
Ooh, yeah, Brookie might have backed off here. Oh, he's annoyed. Yeah, he weaves. Jensen 3/10 up on the softs. I'm not sure whether he's doing this just to make sure he gets pole, but I'm not really sure whether Jensen might back off here, because he's got a solid medium lap time in, and I don't think he's going to go too far down the order, particularly. But Jensen's 6th at the moment. He's used to being at the front. Yeah, second up already. This is gonna surely, maybe, possibly go into the 12s. That would be definitely probably an FRL record. Gonna come around the last corner, Jensen. Is he gonna back off? Looks like he hasn't. Oh, it's a 13-0. Very close Jensen was to just dipping into the 12s, but he can't manage it. As there's others, there's others who are on laps as well, but Jensen looks like he's, to say the least, just got pole in the bag, possibly. Tyne spins in a Ferrari. Where's that?
Same place where I crashed the other day.
And you say that, and I think, is that Steven? Who's that? Oh no, Amanda spun as well. I was just thinking, I think turn 5, Amanda got caught on a curb, which is something you do not want to do at this track. That's one thing for certain. As Zero's not pushing, so I don't know which car was going past him. Is that Jensen, I think? Yeah. But yeah.
You got Rocco pushing and Steven pushing.
Yeah, I think. Who's the furthest up who's pushing? Rocco?
No, Steven is ahead of him. About 20 seconds.
Ah, okay. Yeah, Steven hasn't set a lap time so far, so he'll obviously want to do that. I think he'll be... Ooh, oh, damn, that's wide. From Steven doing a bit of dirt rally there, I guess, even though there's no dirt, and he doesn't validate. Steven looks like he's just sending it, because why not? And rightly so for him. He's got nothing to lose, really.
Rocco then. I think the track's improving now, also with the sun coming out, might help with the temperatures as he goes purple in the second sector. I think that's...
He's on the softs.
Might actually be proper.
He's on the softs, not the mediums, as you can see in the top right of your screen. So, I think this is going to be towards Jensen. See whether he can beat Pelly. Pelly's obviously set a good lap time. Is he going to beat his Haas teammate? He doesn't run as wide. And it's a 13-2. So, 2/10 off Jensen. Still a strong lap time from Rocco. And, well, 1.5 to be, if you want to be exact. But it's a Haas 2-3 at the moment, which is very strong. And you just realised Pelly, on those softs, has done a really good lap time. And if he can improve, as he's on his out lap here, if he can improve, definitely it's going to be looking really good for him to maybe get a top 5 start. Anyone else on a lap? I think
Pace just finished. P7 for him.
Yeah, Pelly's starting. See if he's improving. Otherwise, we'll probably switch. But Pelly just coming down through into turn 1 and just closes the DRS. And now he's coming down into turn 2. Picks up the DRS for the second time and last time on the lap. uses third gear there, doesn't decide to short shift down to second. Flat out easy through turn 3, and then up towards the elevated turn 4, and he's down by a tenth. Maybe maybe the nerves are getting to him slightly, because he knows now there's a lot on the line if he wants to keep P3, which would definitely be his best qualifying of the season in F1, probably in his career in FRL. But Pelly keeps it hooked up, doesn't invalidate. He's got a lot of traffic ahead of him. I think, is that Pace ahead of him?
Pace.
Oh, and he invalidates. I think Pelly's going to be annoyed at that. Hopefully there's nothing, he doesn't escalate too much, but yeah, Pace should have really gotten out the way there, but Pelly invalidates. As Cowie's invalidated, Pace is invalidated. Jacko, Tyne is on a lap. So Tyne is going on a soft, so everyone's decided that the mediums aren't worth it, as, to be honest, the field spread is pretty close, isn't it, T-Hawk, if you look from, I would say.
Within 2 seconds, if you ignore Steven being 5 seconds off, and JB, the other reserve. 8 seconds actually, just 1.5 seconds off, so get him up to F1. But yeah, it is quite close, but still. Jensen and Rocco almost half a second clear of Pelly. They are far.
Oh, Tyne. He's a second up on his time. It says purple, but I don't think it is. But still, that's going to put him 13.9. There's definitely a lot of mechanical grip in this last sector. So if he aces this, I think he's going to go right up the grid here, Tyne. In a Ferrari. See where it's going to be. Ooh, it's P4. Still not as good as Pelly. Pelly looking really strong there. As he's not on a lap. Anyone else on a lap, T-Hawk?
The other Ferrari coming through the last corner now. It's a bit down on this time, but only by a few thousandths.
He's going to have to send it if he wants to move up positions. And he's gained 2. Pettervol moving up. Maybe even 4, I think it was. But up to P3, the second row of the grid. Which could be helpful if he wants a bit of a slipstream down into turn 1 and to get as closer to the action as possible. It looks like it's calmed down. Maybe Arno, I think, could be on a lap.
Arno's on a lap. Up by a bit, I think, in the first sector. Second sector looking good too.
So he's going to dip into the 13s. And just look how tight that is for with Cowie and little Brookie, or sorry, Pace. Pace, I was just going to say, is 2 tenths off Cowie, which is very close. Arno could pit here if he wanted some fresh tyres, but decides not to. Zano's just restarting his lap. Any of the top guys do you think are going to go out again? Like Rocco possibly?
JB just spun. Top guys going out, I think Jensen and Rocco will definitely have another go. Jensen is already on his out lap. Peter Wall.
Oh my.
He's out of fuel, he's done for the day.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I think the top 5 will try it again, surely. Maybe even Amanda to get into the pole. Oh, but very right on.
Ooh, invalidated Arno. I was just going to say, sorry to put in, but you look at everyone doing 1 or 2 laps on the softs, maybe 2 at most with Pace, but Stevens decided to do 7 laps on the softs to really get in the race pace. So, interesting tactics from the Mercedes man, going along with Ballboy. They'll be wanting to score some solid points as Exax retires, so the F2 reserve may be a little bit disappointing, but he's kind of amongst the pack.
I saw Amanda just going flat out to the final corner, going massively wide, get a better run, and it didn't invalidate his laps, so...
Well, we'll see it again. I think it depends, I guess, if he gains any time, but that's definitely...
He gained 1/10 in the first sector, so that might be something, but...
Well, I think so far this lap looks solid. I think he definitely could go up to P3. The McLaren's looking fairly competitive. I think his teammates just behind. So Amanda might be getting a bit of dirty air from Steven. See if he goes wide here. He doesn't. Is it going to gain him any time? And it doesn't. But his teammate, P9. McLaren's a bit disappointing, possibly, the 2 Spaniards in P6 and 9. Could have been slightly higher, as I think Out of the top two, I think Rocco's.
Oh, Jensen's fun.
Yeah, Jensen's. That might be his. Well, it is his quali over. I don't think he can make it in 13 seconds. So it's down to Rocco. Can he snatch pole away from Jensen? This is set for a big finish. Can he clutch up here? Rocco, he's up by 25 thousandths and he's invalidated.
And he's spun for good measure.
Yeah.
His teammate though, right behind him.
Could Pelly defy all odds and get pole? This is going to have to be a lap from the heavens from Pelly. He's going to have to transform it into his own little mini Ayrton Senna and see if he can, nearly invalidating on the outside curb of turn 9 there. But he's kept it valid and he's up by 2/10. Pelly here. It's looking strong from him. Pelly's going to go into the third sector, down into the hairpinish of turn 13. Gets the traction down quite nicely. He's going to try and keep it very close to the wall of turn 14. He's going to get onto the power. Where's this going to be for Pelly?
Oh, P2. Oh, fantastic lap.
Unreal lap from Pelly, and I don't think anyone's going to elect Jacko. No, Jacko's had an incident there. So, I think Pelly's got P2 in qualifying, which is going to be his best ever in FRL.
Oh, great. Well
So
done.
that.
He went purple in the third sector by 1,000 over Jensen.
Yeah.
But yes, just over a 10th, that's really tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just in my microphone mix there. Sorry for pace, for ruining that, but yeah, I think now the drivers have finished their laps, T-Hawk, I'm gonna come to you and ask you, who would you say? I mean, it's obviously gonna be a little bit obvious, but who do you think was your qualifying performance of the weekend, I guess?
Oh, well, that's very hard to think about. Pelly.
Yeah, Pelly there. I think if I didn't have to go for Pelly, I'd probably say... I think everyone's kind of where you'd expect them to be. I think Zero, who obviously crashed out, is once again where you expect him to be with no practice, but possibly I'd say Edzak being 4/10 off David in 9th, only 5/10 off 7th. That's not bad from Edzak. If he, I guess, maybe he sweated it out a bit more, he definitely could have been up there, but yeah. But definitely I would say Pelly first, so.
Other good performances, Ferrari being close to each other as always.
Yeah.
Can't be separated. Of course, Haas, P2 and P3. But then, in general, just the top 3 to have such a big gap to the rest of the field. Very astonishing from them.
Well, a bit annoyingly, my microphone's running out of battery, so I'm going to have to do some makeshift get my old microphone, but we are just waiting for the drivers to see obviously a dry race. So would you maybe were hoping T-Hawk for a wet race to spice it up a little bit?
Well, it would be nice, but JB already confirmed that it's going to be dry. But yeah, a wet race.
I didn't
I
see
don't know if
that.
it would be better or worse because the overtaking is going to be worse then.
Oh yeah, I think you'd get more action in terms of spins, but yeah, I think in terms of also Jensen getting pole, that is his 6th time pole of the season, and obviously now that is going to be his 4th pole in 5 races. He got pole in Canada, France, Britain, and now made that Hungary. So Jensen is at the moment on fire in terms of pole, but in terms of the race wins, he's just 1 race win ahead of Rocco, who's got 4. So Rocco and P2, it is going to be the 2, I guess you could say, colossal giants going at it. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top, as I will pass over to T-Hawk because I wire up my new mic.
Alright then, so as Sponty just leaves me alone in the com box, disgustingly, we are still waiting for the players to load in, which is taking quite a while. I hope we don't have to restart the lobby, but yeah, as I said, probably the main fight to look for is between Rocco and Jensen. Although with Haas having both drivers up there, maybe they can do some strategy. One of them can jump ahead of Jensen, as I think
Hello,
just
hello.
came back.
Well, I just wanted to show you the beauty of two microphones. Hello. Hello. Sorry for that, but yes, I was just showing you that. But yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
Hopefully
So,
you can hear me.
yeah. I think we can all hear you. I can hear you. I hope the stream can hear you.
Should be, yeah, so that'll be all good. Someone could confirm it. But this is taking a bit long in terms of the, I guess you would call it the strategy. All the drivers just looking in terms of the garages, see a couple of red walled strike tyres. I don't think that means much, but if anyone in the YouTube comments might be saying something about possibly there being a glitch, there could be, I guess.
So on Discord there's already talks about maybe doing a restart.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a shame.
I think it might be Cowie leaving and joining.
Yeah, he did join and leave a couple times, but it does mean he can be in the yeah, I think we're restarting. I'll stay in the lobby, I guess, till I get an invite, but it does mean he can be in a racing point, which is good. So, you know, there's a silver lining to everything. Yeah, I think we're restarting. Oh, Stephen left, which is never a good sign. So.
Alright, so if anybody of the drivers is watching the stream, let's restart and hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I'll just leave the session and wait for an invite. I will do the same. But yeah, at the moment, I don't think I've said the driver standings. Jensen is leading with 231 points from Rocco, who's obviously lining up alongside him in terms of quali in Hungary, with 122 points. So Jensen's got a 109 point lead. T-Hawk, obviously you know about championship leads. Do you think Jensen maybe has some pressure on him because he's got such a big lead? Everyone's just expecting him to take it home and bring home the Drivers' Championship. Do you think maybe that might contribute to a bit of maybe controlled aggression and maybe not holding everything back and obviously not going hell for leather all the time?
Well, I mean, we are only halfway through the season, you know. Mathematically, anything is still possible, but yeah, with 109 points in the lead, something big would have to happen for him to, you know, see that gap come down massively. So I think if he just plays it safe, you know, gets those consistent results in like he's done so far, then he won't be facing much trouble on his, I think, first FRL championship.
Yeah, it would be his first Drivers' Championship. Obviously, in previous ones, he's been on the pads. I think last season he started going on a wheel, but Jensen looking... I definitely think he's settled down on the wheel very fast, and Rocco as well. Nothing to take away from him, or a lot of the other drivers. They have definitely, I think, profited as well this season compared to their other seasons. Rocco obviously moving up from F2 a couple seasons back, and he looks... I think if you discount some of the races where he hasn't done well, I think, like, you could say Rocco obviously DNF'd in Spain and DNF'd in Vietnam. If you discount those, as well as Canada, and didn't start in France, I think he would definitely be a lot closer to Jensen and taking the fight to him. So, yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see if Rocco can close in on Jensen, because maybe that would be a sign for upcoming seasons between these two.
Right, hopefully. I mean, it would be a shame to just see one dominating driver being replaced with another. You know, with Montana no longer in here. Montana slash Phantom. Name change are not making it on a regular basis. We don't want Jensen dominating all races, but
yeah,
looks promising to maybe bring up some competition in the future.
Definitely. Well, it'll be obviously interesting, as I think we're waiting on... Do you know who? I think we had 18 drivers, did we not?
See, I'm joining right now.
You're joining.
I think
Okay.
we should be good enough.
I'll check quali before, because I could have sworn we had 18. Oh no, I'm going crazy. We did have 17, never mind. Yeah, Cowie just saying there, don't forget setups. Well, Cowie, don't forget what car you're in as well. Make sure you do, remember.
Setups and tires, although everybody was on the softs, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Cowie did that deliberately to get in the right car. Because I don't know where he qualified, but...
I think P7 it was.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's quite solid for him. He's actually being quite the debutant, obviously. He's raced in Britain, which was his debut race. And as I said, he got 6th in the end, with his teammate Pace getting 5th. So the 2 racing points, I think keep an eye out for them. They're very close in terms of the last race, and possibly this race as well. They seem almost on par in terms of pace. Same as the 2 McLarens, they seem very close. So yeah, there's a lot of close matchups, I would say, coming into this race. So it should be quite interesting to see how it all plays out. We could definitely have some inter-team rivalries, possibly, this race. But that's all obviously going to be put on hold as we just wait for Mr. O'Steven to make up the grid, or for whatever other reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, the race distance as well for Hungary, despite obviously only being 2 DRS zones every lap, it is still a race distance of 153 kilometers, which is a hell of a lot. So still loads of time for spins and obviously crashes and losing a front wing. So definitely don't rule anyone out, even in maybe at the back of the grid for a 1 lap pit stop. So should be interesting. Had, I think, wasn't it 1 safety car yesterday in F2, 1 full safety car yesterday in F2, and 1 VSC.
2 full safety cars.
2, sorry. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I'm not quite sure though.
Yeah, I think there's 2 full safety cars in a VSC, so we'll see if F1 can outdo themselves. Oh, Steven's readied up, which always means we're good to go. Let's look at that. All ready up signs. That's pretty satisfying for any people with OCD. Very nice, very nice.
No, Rocco, Pace, Time.
Yeah, they've ruined it. We might need to have words with them about the...
Yeah, just kick them.
Yeah, kick them out the league. Yes, we don't condone this behaviour from those 3 or 4. Yeah. As we will load in for, I think, a dry race, unless...
I hope
I don't know.
Remember to put a dry race on. If not, might be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, might need to restart again. Hopefully we don't get into a France situation where obviously someone, who's not here today in F1, invited Sparkling and we had to restart the lobby. I think it was 3 times. I think you were there possibly.
Yeah, 3rd time's the charm, and I was just
yeah,
very annoyed.
Yeah, to say the least.
Just insert angry German noises.
As I think it's O'Steven.
It's red.
Top 10 same tyres, or you will be disqualified. So we will do that job for.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, if you remember,
I'll get the stream.
Somebody on the wrong tyre, they will.
No, I'll check.
Tire, or they will be disqualified. So.
Okay, I've got it here. So it's all softs, so that makes it quite easy actually, thinking about it. So we shouldn't have any issues, hopefully.
Tire setup, fuel, I tell you, someone's gonna forget one of those things. Someone's gonna overfuel his car or forget his setup.
Well, we've already got some people readying up, and possibly maybe they've forgotten. Hopefully they haven't, obviously.
Essex was the first one to ready up after like 8 seconds or so.
Maybe his setup's at the top of his list, or maybe he doesn't use this setup, possibly, which is unlikely, so I shouldn't...
Maybe he just thinks I'm F2, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, maybe he wants to impress someone and just use a default setup. And looking at the tyres, hopefully...
Arno will have one left to change the tyres.
Arno's on what tyres is he?
On mediums, so is David.
Where's tyres? My bad. Oh no. The new guys have forgotten. That's... Okay, I will have to or you can message them, or will. Well,
yeah, I'm doing
what is it? They'll get to... Oh no. Hopefully they don't. No. But yeah, Jensen at the moment leading, Pelly as well in second. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully they see the message in Discord about them being disqualified. If they don't change their tyres, there is Mr. David, the sinner, and there's Arno as well. Can they pit in the formation lap?
No, they can't.
As they get very close, actually, then. As Brookie gets right up close, and ooh, a Red Bull early on, looking very aggressive. Jacko as well is there. Jacko obviously in the Red Bull now that Stegel left, which we won't go into too much detail with. But interesting choice as well from Brookie and Edzak. In 11th and 12th, deciding to go on to the softs, so I guess they will want to clear Pace and David if they don't decide to pit and obviously carry on. So I guess they'll just want to latch on to 8th place of Pace and just stick with them and hopefully pull away from Bullboy. But Bullboy looks in a good position here on the hards, considering David and Arno are going to pit early, or not pit at all and be disqualified, but apparently Arno was on mediums as Jensen. A shocking camera angle.
There we go.
As it looks like
Amanda, I think.
Jensen looks like he's got a good start. Is that Pelly? Pelly down the inside of turn 1.
It's Rocco. Oh, is it Rocco? It's Rocco.
No, Pelly's...
outside.
Rocco's going to try and... Oh, Rocco's taking the lead. And Pelly now, he's going to try and go around the outside with turn 3 of Jensen. Rocco takes the lead of Hungary. That's going to be the headline for now. Jensen looks like he's maybe being caught lacking. Maybe his tyres have been left cold. Amenda's up to P4 as it looks like it's starting to kick off. Tyne almost pushing Pace there. Pace has also made up positions.
Cowie has lost it.
Edzak as well. Edzak is up there. Cowie.
Cowie resets.
Oh, but he's has he got any damage, do you know?
I don't think he has. He just touched the curb on the inside of turn 5, but he reset the track, so please don't do that, Cowie. Because it could be dangerous for other drivers coming.
Yeah, the new guys clearly have forgotten the rules as Pace. Pace is going to go down the inside of turn 13 after being bombarded by Tyne under attack. Tyne definitely looking the fast driver as he swings around turn 14 and he makes the move stick. Great move from the Ferrari there, and now he's just behind his teammate. But his teammate is going on the attack against Amanda. Is he going to go inside or outside? He's going to go outside, Pedavol. Is he going to now try and get the switchback? He's got the switchback. And that's a brilliant move from Pedavol. Great move for P4. I know he's going to be chasing after Perley Drudger.
David has read the message in his in chat. He changed onto soft tires.
Great from David. Arno apparently was on mediums before, but he's going to have to check that as Tyne dares to think about a move down into turn 4. Tyne looking very aggressive. He's pushing Amanda there. I think Amanda's going to be annoyed. These two were really close in Britain, but this time, rather than Tyne being the one ahead, it's actually Amanda who's the one ahead, as there's a massive train from, I think it's like a second, which is separating 5th down to 8th. There's time, he's going to go down the inside of turn 10, I think that is. And he's made the move somehow, but Ballboy gets a penalty as well. Somehow it's all kicking off at the moment. Amanda going down the inside, Brookie making a move.
Pace around the outside. Holy moly. That was a good move there from Price around the outside.
But does Amanda have damage? Is that possibly why?
I can't.
No, he doesn't. He might have light green, but oh, Amanda. Oh, he does send it. Oh no, Amanda, a little bit aggressive. Hopefully he hasn't got damage. He doesn't seem to have damage, but that's the beauty of Edzax's strategy. He's up to P8 after starting on a soft, and he's cleared obviously David, who's pitted, and Arno. So now Edzax is just in amongst this pack here. So it's a brilliant strategy so far from the Williams driver, who's usually in a Mercedes. So he's still in Mercedes power, but it's very close between these two. Rocco, something to be said, he hasn't pulled away, and neither has Pelly. Pelly's managing to stick with these two, but I hope he doesn't have any warnings at the moment, because if he does, it might undo his race with the safety car as Pelly goes wide. And luckily for me, there's no commentator's curse. But he's pulled away.
No Pelly for the entire race because I don't want him to crash out.
Yes, yeah. Like he's pulled away from Pettervol though, so it looks like he's got some strong pace if he can keep it clean with the warnings. But look at that, Edzax, it seems to be quite a hot spot turn 13 in terms of overtaking.
Yes.
As Edzax is going to get a good exit. I don't think Amanda has DRS on the car ahead.
And actually, look who's already in P10 after just 3 laps.
Oh, Edzax is going to go down the inside. It looks like he might have overdone it, but wow, he managed to stay on the brakes really well. I think a slight lock-up from someone, but Amanda, he's starting to drop down a place. I reckon Amanda's got damage here. Very light damage. As Brookie gets bullied out of the way from Zero. Where's Zero come from on the hard? Zero looks good as well. Yeah, and these are legitimate overtakes as well from the Finn. He's on a different level at the moment. Asano gets a penalty, sadly.
Actually, it's not that surprising, is it, that Amanda is struggling, because we found out ourselves on the weekend that those soft tires overheat after like 3 laps.
Yeah. Once you start to lose them, the softs do go off the cliff. Not in terms of tyre wear, but most importantly in terms of tyre temperatures. So that's what the drivers are going to be struggling with the most here. And as you can see with Edzax, he's already pulled out a 1.2 second gap over Amanda, who's got a massive train behind him. And I think Amanda's got a bad setup on, because as we were referring to before, his tyres seem to be overheating like crazy. And maybe Zero's going to capitalise on this. On the hards, he's not going to be having any of these tyre issues. But he's run out of ERS. He's below 20%. Is he going to go for the move? Is he going to send it? No. Oh, Brookie! Brookie, very late move. Starts to... yeah. Zero's just going to sit behind, no moves, but it's very aggressive, the driving at the moment from all the drivers. Oh, Zero! He's going to get a better exit here than Amanda. Up the hill of turn 4, Amanda seems to have the ERS, Zero's running out, as Pelly's got a penalty. So, despite Pelly having good pace, it does seem as though he might not be able to keep it clean, as Brookie is all over the back of Zero. Hopefully he knows this isn't an overtaking opportunity, because he doesn't want to go kamikaze with the moves, but this is brilliant from Brookie. He's really hustling the car of the Renault. He's looking for every overtaking opportunity. Zero, it has to be said, will be very annoyed at this, because he's just being held up completely.
Brookie is taking every opportunity he can, so Zero really has to be on his toes and
look at Amanda.
As quickly as possible, and now around the outside.
Oh, surely not from Zero. On the hards, no less. Brookie as well. This is a brilliant scrap for P8. Brookie's going to get a good exit. Doesn't get much wheel spin. Look at Amanda. He might get swallowed up by 2 cars here. But he's got the ERS, which is keeping him ahead. But look at Arno as well. Arno, who should have pitted. Oh, he breaks very late. And now Jacko's going to take P11. It's all kicking off. I can't keep up. Brookie. Well, he stays the same for now. As we look actually up sadly, I shouldn't look at Pelly too much to commentator's curse it, but I think Pelly's tyres are going off as well. I reckon that's why he's got the penalty. At this track, penalties are also quite easy to accumulate, as Brookie we see get one just as I say. But yeah, Pelly's under pressure from the two Ferraris. The two Ferraris, once again, they're doing really well in the standings. They are, in terms of the constructors standings, they are second with 82 points. And this actually is going to put them even closer to Alfa Romeo, who are having a little bit of an off day, with Jensen, you could say, only P2 and Zero in 9th. So, if my maths are correct, they'll gain points. Slightly. Very slightly. As Pelly's pitting...
6 laps, so that shows you how easily those tires degrade, as Zero got past Amanda.
Yeah.
Catch that.
Look at this time. Be interesting to see if Tyne fights his teammate as hard as he fights other drivers, because Tyne definitely, he is very aggressive at times, which can work in his favour. I remember in Monaco he made some really risky, daring moves and actually managed to pull it off, but he really does need to just keep a cool hat on. It is his teammate and he doesn't want to ruin Ferrari's points haul. I know these two drivers are fairly close with each other. They won't want to ruin each other's races. Edzak gets a penalty. But anyone out of Wonder T-Hawk surprising you this race so far? Anyone who's made up positions who looks a little bit better than they did in qualifying, maybe?
Definitely Zero, like 10 positions in the first 7 laps. Really impressive, as Amanda is getting overtaken by Brookie. Brookie all out of shape, loses 2 positions.
I was wondering why that was happening. I was just waiting for the Renault to rejoin as Bullboy makes a nice move, to be honest, on Brookie. Bullboy's keeping his cool hat on, but look at that. It's, as some would say, as Amenda's tyres are going off massively, you can just tell he's getting all sorts of out of shapes on exits of corners, and it's absolute chaos. It's a 5-way scrap for P9 here. P8, sorry. Look at this. The Ballboys must be thinking this is dreamland here. Ballboy's going to get a good exit. Ballboy's going to put it up into overtake. This is like an absolute DRS train if I've ever seen one. Amenda, is he going to go down the inside? Of course he is. He hooks it up nicely. Oh no, he's going to try and stick around the outside, just return into the inside. But Amanda keeps a position as Bullboy moves up. Well, I think he maintains P10 now. What were you just saying about Zero, wasn't it? Zero.
Yeah, Zero 11 positions by now.
Zero's... Oh, it's a bit of a shame. He's 17 seconds off the lead, and I'm not sure how long it takes for a pit stop. But that is going to be slightly concerning for Zero. He's lost a lot of time behind the likes of Amanda. He's going to definitely need to make it up. But another thing is, I want to look at the battle for P8, as it looks like it's steaming up, and I probably should. But Rocco, keep an eye on that gap. As I say that, he pits. Rocco pits from the lead.
He's about 20 seconds in the drive on the pit stop.
Now here's the thing. I shouldn't be zooming in on Zero here, but maybe possibly Zero, who's going to go long, might hold up Rocco if there's no safety car, and that might enable Jensen to pull away on the softs. But then again, it's only 1 lap, so yeah, never mind. Exactly, but Jensen here is going to try and go for the overcut here by 1 lap, I expect.
Actually, Rocco and Tyne are very close to each other. Did Rocco have...
Oh, what the hell? There's an absolute maul here. Amanda's still not got damage, which is incredible. Pelly looks all over these guys. Pelly's on fresh tyres. Pelly's actually... Wait. Pelly's in the provisional race lead, is he not?
No, he's in position P2 because Rocco had to change his front wing.
Ah! No, Pelly's gone wide. That's worrying. Pelly's really hooking up this car. Come on, Pelly, go for a move into the chicane there to send it. No, he goes for the better exit, but Pelly's getting held up a lot here. Look at this, it's absolute carnage in behind. Oh my goodness me, it's 2 by 2. Amanda's been in amongst all the battles. These guys racing, I mean, you look at the pros, but look at this! Look at this, the Ferraris, it's absolute carnage here. Well, not carnage, but it's
losing so much time right now.
Rocco must be thinking, what is this? As look at that! Tyne sends it on Rocco! Tyne can't make it sick, but look at Mendes, absolute chaos! Bullboy! What's happening? Rocco! He goes wide, I can't keep up. Oh, Mendes gone wide, Brookie's gone wide. Oh, they're pitting, never mind. And Tyne, where's Pelly? Pelly's going for a move as well. Pelly's going to go down the inside. He's up into P4, which is a provisional race. No, he isn't. It's Jensen. Jensen's already pitted. Provisional P2. Arno's there as well. But still, Tyne and Bullboy, they're going to go side by side. Bullboy, he's not going to use any overtake and he's going to let Tyne pass. But look at Tyne. Tyne has profited quite a lot from that. So has Pedivol. They've made a pit stop and now they're ahead of Rocco. But Rocco must be really wanting to get a move on here because being behind Bullboy's obviously not the fastest. He's going to lose quite a heap of time in this middle sector if he can't set up a move. Surely not into the chicane. Yeah, he thinks better of it. But cool, take a breath. This is a really good race so far for Hungary. If it stays like this, I think this would be race of the season, wouldn't it?
Maybe in terms of
racing
percentage that the drivers spend side by side in a single lap.
yeah. Pelly, I mean Rocco, sorry. Rocco right on the back of Bullboy here. Bullboy holding up nicely. He's only lost, to be fair, I think 8/10 from the gap when they passed through into the second sector where it was about 7/10. Rocco's got tons of ERS, he makes it look easy. As Pelly gets past Jacko almost pushing Pelly. Jacko's got a lot more ERS and decides to be clever with it and not fight it, but put it this way, Zero actually, who's now under pressure from Jensen as it's the two Alphas who are got a 1-2 so far. If a safety car comes out, I think Zero, well, he's not going to stay in the lead, but the longer Zero can hold up Jensen, let's say until lap, I don't know, 25, and there's a safety car, it could mean, possibly, as Amanda, something's happened to him. Maybe, oh, that's a safety car. I was going to say, maybe there could be a safety car and Zero could get the provisional race lead, but what's happened to Amanda and little Brookie? I think they had a wing change, or did they just spin?
Brookie spun out of turn 1, I think they both...
Oh my goodness, did you see that glitch? Sorry, Brookie, I think they caught it on stream. He's looking into the ground there. And JB says wrong grid. Oh, well, that's a bit embarrassing if Steven did that. Hopefully he hasn't got the wrong grid. Brookie's lost his whole front wing. Yeah, you check that, you check that. Oh, no problem. As Amenda's obviously lost a couple of positions, which is a shame because he was right in amongst the battles. But he's going to hopefully make his way up the grid. He hasn't got a penalty so far, so it's still on for him. As his teammate is going to pit, who's not had a great time either. So, Renault and McLaren are, at the moment, they're both rock bottom of the pile, with the Haas looking good, with Rocco's going to hopefully be making his way through the grid, and the two Alphas as well, so... But look at this. Jensen is being held up quite massively through this middle sector here. Zero obviously on 11 lap old Mihards. They're not going to be overheating or going off too much, but the raw speed of Jensen's is definitely going to be prevailing here. I think Jensen will want to get past Zero, and Zero is probably going to... It looks like he's being quite stubborn at the moment and not letting him by, but we'll see here. Jensen's going to come around the last corner. I'd imagine if they wanted to do the switcheroo between the two, they would do it now. Zero's low on ERS as well, so Jensen... Yeah, it's going to be an easy move for Jensen here. I don't think Zero's going to fight it too hard. So good move from Jensen, and the Alphas switch around. Pelly looks a little bit in no man's land at the moment. He's 4 seconds off P2 and 3 seconds off 4th as T-Hooks returned.
Yeah, I just noticed Arno will not be disqualified. He qualified P11.
And who was P11?
P10.
Did Brookie go on softs? Did Brookie go on softs?
Yeah, Brookie went on softs. So Arno won't be disqualified. I'm sorry for that.
I guess just Stephen might be disqualified. Stephen should. Stephen should be ashamed of himself. That no, joking. A little mishap, which we will definitely allow.
Yeah, I mean it happens. We are just human.
Of course.
Maybe we'll have a vote to pick Stephen from the group.
The most important thing is they did pick the right tyres either way, so that's quite reassuring. But look at this. It's like almost, I'm not sure, Austria, you could say, or in 2019 with Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. Jacko's being held up. I mean, sorry, Jacko is holding up the two Ferraris at the moment. It looks like a Ferrari. I don't know what you'd call this exactly, but the Ferraris are hunting down a Red Bull. There's a lot more overtaking than I thought around Hungary, because Tyne, or is that Pettervol's going to go for a move. We can't keep up here. Pettervol's going to get a lovely switchback, and Tyne as well. Tyne's going to use his overtake. Is he go inside or outside? It's outside from Tyne. Can he make it stick on a Red Bull? He's going to have to stick his nose in. Oh, he just about... Jacko leaves space. This is brilliant from Jacko. Brilliant move from Tyne. But now look at poor Rocco. Rocco's going to be kidding himself, saying, oh, now I need to wait behind this caravan for an extra lap. Jacko is obviously no caravan, but in the middle sector here, he's going to lose a lot of time. Rocco, as he comes out of shots. Oh, Rocco's lost a front wing there. Rocco's lost a front wing. I think he got caught behind Jacko. He might have dived it down the inside. These two are mates as well. These two are very close mates, and it's going to get a little bit sour between these two.
Oh, this is... Oh, it's going so terribly for Rocco from leading the race to now.
Not leading, he was... Oh, he was leading, wow.
He was leading. The assumption at the start from P3 up to P1.
Yeah. Rocco's going to have to pit now, again. And he's going to go down the order. But what does this mean for Pelly? Sorry to button, but Pelly, who's on the 2-stop, looks to have good pace here. Pelly could get a podium now, given Rocco's going to look a little bit out of contention. We're not even halfway, but I dare say, is Pelly possibly going to get a podium?
I don't know, I mean, with a 2-stop he would have to do a lot of overtaking. He would probably go for the softs again. Depending on how long he goes on the second stint, the softs will degrade very quickly. Need some really good and really fast laps right now.
Did you say 20 seconds for a pit stop as he gets a penalty? Did you say 20 seconds?
20 seconds.
Well, he'll emerge around Cowie area, but the penalties aren't going to help him. He might get it on track, but if he pits for another set of mediums to the end, he will emerge around P9, P10. So it's going to be close. I definitely think he can score points if he keeps the penalties to a minimum, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see really whether Pelly will be able to get a podium. I think it'll be very tough for him, especially with those two penalties, but yeah, we will see. But also, someone to look at as well is Stephen in P11. You may say why, but Bullboy and Arno have got penalties ahead of him. They're quite far ahead, but if there's a safety car, Stephen could profit from this and possibly get into the points again in F1. And I think that would be Stephen's... what was it? It'd be his third point of the season if he got anything better than 10th. As Mendes looks like he's going to make a move, and so is Rocco. Rocco seems to be a little bit impatient. Oh, Rocco, brilliant move as well. I think Amanda's trying to fight it, and he is fighting this quite hard. But Rocco on the outside, he's going to get better traction. Yeah. Amanda's going to try and stick with him as Pelly spun. Oh, Pelly can't keep it on track.
Oh, yes,
oh no. No, no, no. Our virtual safety car will save him a couple of tears. He'll be beating his hands at the floor, and he'll be an absolute... Yeah. Haas went from provisional P2 and P3 with all the pit stops. He doesn't need to let Bullboy through because it is a virtual safety car. But, yeah. Haas, it goes from heroes to zero. A 0 pits for mediums. Will those make it to the end?
18 laps. Yeah, they should make it to the end, yeah.
I think it'll be quite touch and go, to say the least, but that's just my thought.
I think the two-stop strategy would be 8 laps on the softs, 7 laps again on the softs, and then you'd have about 20 left on the medium. So now with 18 to go, he should make it. Or with 19.
Yeah, as always as well, I think there's something to point out. The Ferraris, it is starting to get quite funny just how these two cannot be separated. I always say these two have very similar pace. I think it's fair to say, especially with us witnessing the qualifying of Austria where Tyne got pole, Tyne does seem to be better in the race, and Pedevol seems to be more, I guess, consistent in the race. Sorry, I meant Tyne is better in quality, that's what I meant. But Pedevol as well, was obviously a couple times this season, I think in Vietnam and possibly China, has gone for the differing strategy. But just looking, he's going to be definitely looking at his rear wing, as for some reason I get the wrong camera angle. There we go.
On Jacko now. There's around the outside of Jacko. Gets him in the braking zone, Jacko just letting him through. But yeah, those Ferraris, it might as well just be one guy playing.
Oh no, Jacko, he's not letting him through. He's actually, I think he got a really good exit as Pace just sent it a bit too much. But if there's a safety car, Jacko could profit from this massively. He's not too far off P2. I think he's about 7 seconds off. So Jacko's looking competitive here. I don't think he's scored... No, he hasn't scored any points this season, so he's one to look out for to get his first points. Arno is as well, and Pelly retires. Pelly... It is very disappointing after superhero qualifying of P3. He will be in disarray, I think. To put it lightly, he did look very fast as well, with not even sugarcoating it at all. Pelly was definitely going to be up there, but without dwelling too much on the negatives, I think we should maybe look at the battle for P2, which once again, as I said before, is with the two Ferraris, which is crazy that these two are still neck and neck at each other for P2.
I mean, that's still great to see. I think those two have one of the best teammate relationships, not fighting each other too much, and they know that it would just cost them time. In 10 laps that might change.
Yeah.
When they do change, they fight very hard with each other, but still very fair, as I experienced firsthand in France. But yeah, so far both of them in P2 and 3, 6 seconds clear of P4, 12 seconds behind Jensen. I think right now they're just playing it safe.
Ooh, no pits. I love this camera angle I'm doing, just on Pedevol on the onboard, but behind. You really do get a sense of the dirty air around Hungary. And I guess Tyne is seeming to make it up in the traction zones, but just the dirty air is washing his car away in the corners, as you can see. But just on board with him for a whole lap, it does seem as though Tyne is closing up on traction, but just with the biting into the corners, he's just not close enough into turn 1 and 2. But yeah, Tyne getting very close into turn 1.
Zero overtaking Jacko now, down the inside.
He's got no ERS, Zero. He does like to have no ERS. He should honestly save it a little bit more. Look, he's already using it. Zero, honestly.
Right now, so
yeah.
Zero might be charging for a podium, actually.
Yeah. If he's listening, oh, Zero, please save it. He's using all of it at the moment. He needs to just save a little bit, as some may know. If you're under 20%, you do lose performance, obviously, in the car down the straights. So he may want to get that a little bit higher. It's quite easy-ish to save ERS around Hungary. So you should be able to be in maybe at 50% by lap 26, I dare say. But that's just purely a guess, as David gets a penalty. But look at that ball boy, I just realised. Has he pitted? It says
No,
19
he
laps.
has not.
So, are we on
He's
lap
on his
21?
20th lap, and he's on his 20th lap still. And once he goes on his 21st.
I was pitting.
Ah, yeah, he's pitting now. There he goes. For meetings, I guess.
I think so. Zero made that call, and Zero's looking strong also with no penalty, as JB being a bit disappointing. Maybe zoom in on a battle further back, no disrespect, but here's David and JB. David, I think, definitely should be up the order here. He'll be wanting to get right up there. So he's going to try and make a move.
Arno just got down the inside of Amanda.
David's going to send it. JB defends well, but then just on the exit of the corner, JB seems to get swamped by the McLaren in the Papaya orange livery. But JB down to unlucky 13th with a couple of penalties. It's not looking the best for him at the moment. Hopefully he doesn't have any damage and he can just bring the Renault car home. Obviously his teammate Little Brookie crashing out, or retiring in the pits I should say. So hopefully one omen for one of the yellow B cars won't be an omen for the other, but he has got a penalty to his name, which won't help if there's a safety car, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As that's time! Oh, we missed that!
Oh no, I just sent the welcome that battle.
Oh no. Oh, that's really poor
Managed
timing.
team orders. Maybe they're saying, okay, what if we could catch Jensen by 1 second in there?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
Let's see.
Also, it's not the end of the world for Rocco. Rocco seems to be... I mean, look at the gap there. Rocco's starting to gain on Zero. Zero, he's right onto the back of Pace. This order could be very jumbled by the end of the race, because you've got Zero, who's pushing hell for leather, who could definitely, I can see, getting him up to P2, because he's obviously about a second off Pace, who's 7 seconds or about that off Pettervol, who's only a second off Tyne. So overall Zero's I would say about probably 9 seconds off second, so it's definitely possible for Zero to get a double podium for Alfa Romeo, or a 1-2 for Alfa Romeo, so still on the cards obviously.
Let's see. Another guy that's pushing is Tyne. He just made up 6/10, or just over half a second on Jensen on that lap.
Well, that's impressive.
He might actually be pushing to bring down the gap. I mean, he has a penalty, so he might as well just go for it.
He's gonna have to, I think. He may not know this, but Zero is he's on a charge here if he can get past Pace, but I think one of Zero's weaknesses, as I highlighted before, is his ERS, and he's not got much to attack Pace. Like, he's using it now, but he just got to save that ERS, otherwise it'll be so difficult for him to overtake Pace with the lack of power. Don't you think, T-Hawk, or do you think this is a good tactic?
Especially around tracks like this with very short strikes, where you just need all the energy in one. P9!
Kicking off at P9, Cowie, and Ballboy going for a move on Amanda, and he's made it stick! Great move from Ballboy. Ballboy getting his elbows out. I don't want to say for once, but for the first time in a while for sure. But Cowie as well make the move on Ballboy. He's got a penalty as well, so look at Amanda actually here. After the spin, with all these penalties, I think it'll be tough for him to make his way up, but he's definitely amongst that points kind of area with all the penalties, even with Ballboy with the penalty. So, but he's falling off Ballboy a little bit, which is something you don't say very often about a driver. As Zero makes a move on Pace. Is Pace going to get the switch back? Surely not on those old hards.
He's still there. He's getting squeezed onto the curb, and that's Zero through. Yeah,
Zero with the superior traction. I think maybe it took him a bit too long there to get past. He's got 11 laps to get down the gap and get a podium for Alfa Romeo. But I think we said this before last race with the Ferraris in terms of quali or race last time out being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ferrari power clearly being superior with its Ferrari power 1-4. As Edzak makes a move on O'Steven, who's O'Steven still haven't pitted. So I'm not sure whether
at some point this race, or is he just gonna
not get disqualified. Maybe he's giving us some entertainment to see if the tires can make it to the end, but being serious, I think he is probably trying to maybe not get lapped by Jensen if there's a safety car. That's just a pure guess.
Nobody's getting lapped so far, I just noticed.
I think Steven might be in a clutch as a Jensen soon in 10 laps, but yeah, he's going to want to pit right at the end, because otherwise he will be lapped. And if there's a safety car, that could be a bit of an issue. Despite I think Jensen would pit for the mediums. But at the moment, Edzak as well, he's going to be on a charge up for his F2 reserve rookie as well, I guess. JB, of course. And then above them, you've got the two McLarens, as I say that, Amenda pits. So Amenda's tyres, I think, are going off here a bit, or maybe he's going for fastest lap. Oh, he's retiring. Yeah.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Bit of a shame. But, yeah, I think it's maybe the tyres. I think at Hungary, he's clearly got that issue, and I understand his frustration if it is about that, because they can be very annoying, that's for sure. But just gonna keep an eye on the battle for P12. Nice to keep everyone involved in the stream as Arno's catching up. So there's two Williams on a charge. Edzak is gaining a lot of time actually on the back of JB. I don't usually do this. I'll look at the race director because he's got 2 penalties. That's not great, but did an 18.3 last lap compared to JB, who did a 20.1. So Edzak is reeling him in as there's a yellow flag. That's Amenda. Hopefully that's not a safety car, because he did his best, Amenda, to retire into the pits. As Arno, who was on the back of Cowie. I see. Cowie's just pitted, so Cowie's on a charge as well. Pace looking good once again for 5th with no penalties. And Petrol is going to retake 2nd as things stand with the penalty, so anyone surprising you? Like I said, I would say in the first half of the race.
Looking good, 0 up in P4 after starting last. That's doing a good job. Let's see, Tyne is still keeping the gap consistent to Jensen.
Oh my!
Has responded with his lap times.
I think you're missing someone here, and I haven't seen Jacko have this good of a performance in a while. Jacko's in 7th, and Jacko hasn't, as I said, he hasn't scored points this season. He's done 5 races, and I'm not mocking him. He's DNF'd 3, so obviously 4 of them in the first 4 races, but he does struggle to finish. But it'd be great if he can score points, and it'd be his first of the season, and there's probably, once again, like Pelly would have done, his best result in FRL, if you count F1, I guess, as the peak, which you should, really. But Sarah as well, closing in.
Charging. Also Arno trying to maybe get up the order.
Yeah, Arno is falling off Cowie because of the new tyres of 7th and 8th, so that'll be tough for him. As I look at the gap, Edzak as well, 4.6. That's a gap that's closing. Bullboy might even be on the back of Arno here. It's 1.5 seconds. Bullboy's going to be good with the tyres, with his assists probably, which will help. 1.3 seconds there. And his tyre attempt will probably help as well, as Bullboy keeps it flat out through that corner, which is good to see.
Bullboy looking very fast to pick up some points from Mercedes.
Yeah, he's playing it.
Charge has stopped now.
Ooh, Bullboy.
He's stuck at 6.5 seconds. I think his mediums might be going off.
I think, yeah, his tyres might be going off as well. Yeah, slightly. Maybe. But look at his ERS. Zero needs to save it. He's run out of ERS. Honestly, Zero's engine is just gonna say goodbye, I think. Maybe just before the checkered flag. Because he's just constantly using the overtake. He doesn't want to save it. The man from Helsinki, so he's just gonna, I guess, plough on and maybe secure a 4th place for Alfa Romeo if he can get a podium. I think he's 8.5 seconds more or less of Tyne, so he can still make up 5 seconds on Tyne. So in that sense, Tyne is actually closer to 0 by penalties in terms of than Pederville. So that's something to think about. And as I was saying about Edzak, he's no longer gaining on JB, it does seem. So I think the tyres are going off for a lot of drivers. As Arno gets past.
Prix gaining on Jacko right now, and Bobo gaining on Arno, so two battles forming up in the last couple of laps.
Yeah. Nice to have a competitive midfield. I definitely think last couple of races the midfield's been a lot tighter with the likes of Cowie, Pace, who else? Arno as well, he's in there. Great to hear Arno shouldn't get disqualified as well. It'd be nice to keep the finishes as it is. Hopefully no one retires. Unless it's obviously a crash, which would be unfortunate, but... as I say that, I think that's Edzak, isn't it?
That's Arno.
Arno. So Arno's now going to drop out the points, and that means David's in the points. And Rocco's going to go for fastest lap here, because...
What did you just say about Arno still having a decent race, and so on and so on?
I think it was Jacko. Oh, as Jacko nearly gets cut off from Cowie there. Cowie...
And Rocco put it for the fastest lap, and he's going to overtake those two as soon as possible.
Oh, is he going to go for the move? He'll be annoyed at Jacko, and he's going to send it! Great move from Rocco. I think he's absolutely still furious at Jacko getting the damage from Jacko before, if you can remember, in the second sector where he, in the left-hander of, I think it is, turn 8, I think it is. He did pick up some, I would guess, yellow front wing damage and had to pit. So, Rocco there getting his revenge, and he's going hell for leather at the moment. Cowie's going to try and hold him up. I don't know the penalty situation. Maybe T-Hawk can check, but... yellow flags?
3 seconds.
Yeah.
3 seconds for both, and we have, I think, Edzak spun around. Yeah, Edzak spun around.
Rocco, round the outside of the final corner. He's going to get the better exit. What an exit from Rocco there. Rocco just going to easily soar past the Pink Panther of Cowie. Great move from Rocco there. Easy as you like into turn 1.
Zero's tyres are firing up again. He gained another half a second, but now stopping back.
Yeah, Zero lost 2/10 there in that chicane, but he's gaining back the time in these long, prolonged corners. As Pedivol's still going to get seconds, which I can confirm. He's at the moment 5th in the championship. That will be his best result. But listen to this, he's got 4 thirds this season, so I think a second he will definitely take, and that's, I'm pretty sure, will be his best result ever in FRL, unless he's ever... I don't think he's won in FRL. No, yeah.
I think it's only his second season either way, so...
Yeah.
Season, I'm sure.
I think that as well. As Tyne as well, he hasn't won either, so, but he has got 3 second places, and he's actually had a pattern here, which is, I think in Azerbaijan he got 2nd, Canada he got 6th, France he got 2nd, Austria he got 6th, and Great Britain he got 2nd. So do I jinx it and say Tyne is going to get 6th this race? By the laws of stats. Yeah, I think he did that in Austria, so he won't want to do the same as Rocco. I think set fastest lap there. I think that's just a consolation of a, I don't know, maybe lack of focus from Rocco with the Jacko incident, unless Rocco just misjudged Jacko's pace, maybe.
I don't know, we might see something about that in the incident chat.
He got held up quite a bit, I think, by, who was it? The likes of Mender, when there was a massive battle on the 16th-ish lap, so that kind of triggered it all, I would say. But Rocco on the fresh sauce is on a charge here. He's gone purple, but he's still a 10th down. Rocco, definitely the fastest on track. I'm not sure whether he's beaten Max Verstappen's best year. Yeah, it's 15-1, blown out of the water completely. Yeah. But Rocco just... he's gained... How many seconds has he gained on pace? Let me check. It must have been quite a lot, because I could have sworn that gap was 17 seconds. 18 for pace, 18.4 for pace.
3 seconds.
3 seconds. Well, I mean, that's the difference in pace, I guess, by Pace and Rocco and the hards and softs. But my goodness me.
Except his tires are gonna overheat and then Pace is gonna go fast.
I think Rocco, if you did it by that, he'd be 6 seconds off pace by the end. But Rocco's tyres already are probably on fire, as you were saying about Zero hitting kind of a brick wall in terms of progress with Petrol, and it seems that has happened.
Yeah. Can't get under 6 seconds. Actually, Petrol.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting, that gap.
Yeah. The 10's only, but he's clinging on by.
Rocco penalty. As I'm just looking, look how many penalties there are. I swear, if, let's say, the likes of Edzak there, in that kind of battle, I think David maybe had no penalties, they would go shooting up, because there's an absolute zebra crossing from 6th down to 12th. Oh, Stephen.
There would have been a late safety car, then Stephen would have been jumping for
Oh my goodness me. There still can be, possibly, on this lap, but it'd have to be this lap.
Yeah, on this lap. So we have about 2 corners left for somebody to crash out and call the safety car.
So Jensen, if you're listening, bin it. No, I'm joking. Yeah, no.
Time getting on Jensen now again. He's 13.1 seconds away,
I think
so it's
Jensen's nursing. I think Jensen's nursing the tyres home, but for me, Petrol, to get his best result ever in FRL, the gap is going up to Tyne. Petrol does have 1 lap older tyres, which may not be a massive difference, but it's going to be quite significant in these coming laps, because he will feel the difference of like maybe 4%. So if Tyne is on around, I would guess 60%, Petrol will definitely be feeling it on 65%, that's for sure. But the gap's come down again.
As much as we can. It seems like Petrol is better in the first sector, but Tyne was pulled away in the last sector, with those long curves that require a lot of front end grip.
Yeah, he seems a more aggressive driver, I would say. He's probably the most aggressive driver out of all of them, I would guess. But yeah, definitely through those corners. Yeah, sending it in a little bit. Can't tell much on 1 lap or a couple of corners, but he does seem to be having it hooked up, and it's over 3 seconds. Oh, now it's gone back down. So this is starting to have a yo-yo effect here, as Jensen is going to cross the line here. Let's see what the gap is from Tyne to Petrol, and see if there's any scenario 7 in Petrol's locker. Tyne, I think, will be hoping for another second. Another second for Tyne, in terms of second place, that is, would, I think, hop him above Rocco, up to second in the championship, which is kind of out of nowhere, I think. Not many people would be expecting it, and, well, Osteen would have wanted a safety car, a bit unnecessary from Edzak. He could have finished the race, but 2.9 seconds is the gap from Petrol to Tyne. That is actually the closest gap as well. Sorry, what were you saying, Tihu?
I think Petrol is gonna gain here again. Actually, no, he isn't. His tires are starting to fade away. That 1 lap.
Oh no, it's over 3 seconds.
This is actually probably exciting.
Oh, it's packed down under. It's under 3 seconds. Oh no! Petrol! Tyne, how many warnings has he got? Tyne. This is quite desperate and unprofessional as a commentator. I nearly exit multiplayer by accident, but Tyne has got. Tyne's got 2 warnings. I don't know where Tyne can invalidate another time, but maybe on this last corner Tyne will bottle it. Is he gonna spin? Tyne, there's no pressure on you. Is it gonna be second again for Tyne? I think it will be. Oh, as Petrol across the line and crashes. It is an Alfa Romeo 1-4. Well done to Alfa Romeo. Well done to Zero for a very good result. Sadly, no podium, but he'll be happy. Ferrari 2-4 as well. Ferrari are the constructors' winners by points for this race weekend. And fair play to Zero as well. I think that is his joint best result of the season. His last best result of a fourth was in Spain. And that was his only time he got fourth. So I think Zaire will take that. Definitely.
Yeah. Jacko, yeah, getting 4 points on his board. Good job from him. Borber P9, good job from him as
Points as well on the board. David is going to cross the line. I think O. Stephen was lapped.
From him after pitting lap 1.
Yeah, JB agonisingly close to points there. I'm not sure whether he scored points before. Has he? Oh, he hasn't. No, he hasn't scored points. So close, JB, to points. I think he... No, yeah, he just breezes across the line. Oh, he gets a puncture.
He had 33 laps on his tyres. I was just about to say.
Yeah.
He has a puncture.
Yeah, JB suffers a puncture, which you don't actually see all too often in this game. But...
Sure.
As Jensen is going to take home the trophy to Cornwall, or wherever he lives. But Jensen once again wins. And that's his 4th race win in 5 races. And I think the number of podiums goes from... Is it 7 to 8 now? So Jensen, absolute domination. I think I've seen this done in an Alfa Romeo by NSX somebody. But what a result from Jensen again, keeping a cool head. And T-Haw, I'll push you for who's your driver of the day? Ignoring the in-game fans.
Zyro.
From last.
Positions in the race, no penalties.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
I would have said Pelly if he just would have got points. Such a shame he didn't. But as I said before, I think mine is going to have to go for Jacko, who hasn't got points before, I don't think, this season. Or probably in F1, really, in general. He hasn't been lapped. Despite being, I would say, a minute off the lead, still 4 points on the board is very solid for him and for Red Bull, as he doesn't have a teammate, obviously, for this race. But yeah, that was fairly chaotic at the start. Started to calm down at the end, but can finally take a breath as I'll join, I think, the F1 interviews now. So and we are back for the interviews as we will wait for the drivers to file through.
If I can be bothered to turn up.
Yeah. But man, that was quite a chaotic race. I'm not sure whether I've seen, I think it was a 5-car at best there, squabble with 2 cars going 2 by 2 through Hungary. That was pretty chaotic.
Really
As Jensen is here. As we will obviously start with Jensen. So, Jensen, you're here, right? You're here?
Yeah.
Yo.
Good. So, Jensen, obviously, in terms of qualifying, you did put it on pole. We started to go for the mediums, but then obviously you tricked us all and went onto the softs at the last minute. Did you at any point kind of think you might have wanted to go for the medium hard strategy, or did you always feel the soft hard strategy was the faster one?
Well, of course, track position I wanted, so I mean, I tried mediums at the start quali just to like compare myself to where everyone else is, and yeah, I would have been quite far down. I think I would have been like out of the top 10 with the mediums. That just goes to show how big the pace gap is, really, with the soft and medium tyres. But yeah, went for the softs, got pole. Pelly really came really close, bit unfortunate for him, but I mean, props to him with that lap.
Mhm.
That really surprised me, but yeah, it was quite a rough start to the race, of course, because of the restart, the lobby and that, and we got the wrong grid. And I think
Slightly, yeah.
yeah, slightly. So it was a bit weird, but I don't think much of the top 5 or anything like that got affected, so it wasn't much of an issue. Rocco got an amazing start, and he was, I think, 10% more wear than me coming up to his pit stop, and when he pitted I could extend it a bit further, and he picked up damage into the pits as well, so yeah. I just carried on, and when I came out of the pits, my stop, I was pretty much in clear air with my teammate ahead. It was pretty much textbook after that.
Yeah, probably summarised it quite perfectly. It was a very dominant drive, probably your most dominant of the season, obviously with taking pole. Don't think you got fastest lap, I think Rocco took that, but
yeah, Rocco got that in the end.
But just generally, raw pace looked good, obviously able to, I think you were backing off, weren't you, near the end, to conserve your tyres from time?
No.
Oh.
I was just trying to keep it on track, just not like being. I know time was definitely pushing to try and get the gap, and in the end, Petterville got a penalty. So in the end, he managed to, I think, pressurise his own teammate there.
Yeah. Well, you've definitely been very strong this season, and the gap just keeps on improving now. I mean, we've seen this dominance from the likes of Montana before, and now you do seem to be at that level of just competitively just keeping on grinding out results. But this time was quite easy. Do you think as the season maybe progresses, you will just become more settled in and more dialed in to all the drivers around you and just be able to keep on getting these solid, easy wins? Well, not quite easy, but...
oh, yeah, it's never easy, but...
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just gonna maintain the consistency. So all I need to do, I think, with 9 races to go, and looking at the gap, yeah, I think they need to outscore me by, like, nearly, or I don't know, actually. I think 14 points per race. That's Rocco has to outscore me by 14 points.
Well, it's time now.
Race on average.
You say that. I think time's now moved up into second, but I think, like you said, it is seemingly a little bit unrealistic, possibly to. Obviously, you don't want to write off the drivers, but surely your attention's maybe going to go towards the constructors, with Ferrari looking quite strong now, 82 points behind you, but with a good 2-3, surely you'll want to also secure a good Constructors World Championship with Zero as well for Alfa Romeo.
Oh yeah, I think that's pretty much the aim now. Me and Zero working really hard. I think the really good teamwork this season. It's a bit unfortunate today. Of course, he wanted to get the podium, but I definitely see it happening coming near the end of the season, or of course in the next few races maybe. But yeah, our aim is just to win this constructors, mainly because I think drivers, I'm not, like you said, I'm not writing anyone off, but I'm feeling confident for that anyways.
Definitely. Well, obviously into the next race, which is Belgium, where you've, in the past, do you feel you've maybe underperformed or overperformed there, and would you say you're confident to keep this streak going? Because also you're on a 8 streak of podiums in a row, so do you want to keep that up and maybe get that into double digits and increase that to 9?
Oh, it's actually 9 podiums now.
Oh,
so.
Well, to get it to double digits now, yeah, next race.
Yeah. But yeah, just aiming for another result, just like today. Just gotta carry on pushing, as always. There you go.
Good. Well, obviously, well done pulling a 15-second gap over second and being very rich in time. And hopefully you'll keep up the progress into Belgium.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, you and T-Hawk.
T-Hawk, yeah. Do we have Tynal Petterval in here? Probably not. Nah. T-Hawk, do you want to interview Zero, or should I?
Yeah, might try. So, Mr. Helsinki. Qualifying didn't go so well, didn't get a lap in, started P17, and then starting on the hard tires, you just made up incredible ground, I think like 10 positions by the end of lap 7, so yeah, you didn't manage to go onto the podium, but surely P4, after starting so far down at Hungary, still feels nice for you, right? So yeah, of course, championship still looking decent for the team at least. Going on to, which track is it next week? Spa? Yeah, Spa. Do you think you finally get your long-awaited and definitely deserved podium? Whoever that was, correct? Yeah, Jacko. Yeah, the guy who's hyped because he finally finished the race and got points. But anyway. So yeah, Spa next week, podium, of course. We all are rooting for you. We all expect you to finish on the podium. Everything else would be a total disgrace for you and the team. Now that we have half of the season done though, or even more than half of the season, I actually don't know where you are in the standings, but what do you think could be possible for you in the driver standings moving forward? Because you were looking decent in the last couple of races.
Yeah, I think we're now getting into my side of the calendar, which has like every one of my strong cars. So I think getting at least to maybe even 3 positions up in the standings would be possible.
Well, that would certainly be great for you and for the constructors. So yeah, best of luck next week in Spa to finally get that podium. But still congratulations today for going from P17 all the way up to P4.
As it should be if Pace isn't here, or is he?
Yep.
Sorted. So Pace, another very well put together weekend, I'd say, for you. You qualified P8, which is probably where we thought you were going to be, but would you say that lap could have been hooked up a bit better, or did you maybe in your previous laps invalidate, which maybe prevented you being a lot higher than you thought you should have been? Or did you maybe feel you overperformed? Or where
Yeah, I felt like I got a few more attempts, maybe. Maybe put me up to like 7th or 6th, but yeah, it was a good enough lap. I just wanted to try to get as high up as possible because overtaking pretty hard around here, so as long as I got at least in the top 10, I was happy.
And into the race, Orisi, you were P6, and then you kind of hovered around there, and there was quite a massive battle. I think it was midway through the race with Amanda, and a lot of people were kind of having a roller coaster and going up and down, and with a lot of incidents. Were you just trying to, through the middle part of the race, just keep a cool head and keep the penalties to a minimum as much as you could, and just let the chaos ensue around you and just come through clean out of it?
Yeah, I just kept it clean, got no penalties. It wasn't very eventful. Like it was just, I was just like 5 seconds behind the Ferraris most of the time, and then obviously they got a lead because they're fast. But was it Zero? I think it was Zero.
Rapid on the mediums got past me, and I thought Rocco was going to get me, but he pitted for soft, so I guess his tyres were gone. So I'm happy with P5. I feel like it's the highest I can get at the moment. I don't think I'll get any higher than this, but I'll have to try. Maybe I'll get lucky with a podium one race.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the consistency is there now, so 22 points is pushing you all the way up the standings already after only doing 3 races. And into Belgium, which do you feel possibly, obviously in F2 you're reigning world champion, did you feel you've got good progress from that race in Belgium in F2 and just in previous seasons gone by, which you want to maybe bring into Belgium, or do you have the opposite?
Yeah, Belgium's a good track for me. I won it in F2. I did get a few penalties, so I try not to get penalties next week. But I'll probably aim for maybe a top 6, top 5 finish again. It depends how the top 5 do, because some of them crash out, some of them don't. So it's just I've just got to be there to pick up the pieces when one of them does crash out.
Yeah. Well, obviously another very strong result in 5th, and keeping up the consistency, which is good as well for Racing Point, and well done for solid points, and thanks for racing as always.
Cheers, buddy.
Good. As I think next is Rocco, if he's here. He might not be here. T-Hawk, then it's Cowie's. Is Cowie here? He's probably not. So you're doing Jacko then? Jacko, right?
Yeah. Yo.
Yeah, T-Hawk, take away.
Okay. So Mr. Jacko, finally at your, I think, 5th start or 6th, finally you finished and got some points for once. I think you finished P8, so 4 incredibly sexy points on the board. But yeah, how does it feel to finally, after such a long while, score points and still be involved in a lot of good battles?
Mate, first of all, it's just good to be back. You know, I can't remember the last time I know last week I was back, but I can't remember the last time I raced before that. Probably, I think it might have been Australia, Bahrain,
China.
something like that. And then I just obviously been very busy. But these last 2 races sort of made me realise like how much I do enjoy racing. Because before I took the break, my pace was very good. Just problem with me is consistency. So sometimes I'll be really quick, but just do a stupid mistake, crash out or whatnot. Like last week, I was very consistent. Probably was quicker last week in Britain than this week, but this week I kept my nose clean, no front wing damage, good strategy. Yeah, just sort of a straightforward P8 finish, really. I don't think I could have. I maybe could have got Cowie if I or kept him behind if I pitted a bit later, but his tyres are too fresh again. So overall, P8 from I think it was 14th. Very, very content with that.
Yeah, definitely a very good drive. Involved in quite a few battles. Decent driving from you. We think there was an incident between you and Rocco, which cost him his front wing.
Yeah.
Are we correct in that, or what exactly happened?
Well, it's difficult because obviously me and Rocco are we're good friends in real life.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Well, we've just been sort of racing through the years together and whatnot. So I thought I would try. It was a miscommunication. I thought I'd try and let him through, so I pulled quite to the outside, but we didn't communicate in the party at the time, and yeah, just sort of clipped me and then lost his front wing, or lost one of the end plates, which was annoying because obviously he's a lot quicker, so I wanted to let him through and fight for higher up positions, but yeah, just one of those things. We'll probably talk about it again later, but it happens, I guess. It's happened before and it'll probably happen again, so just gotta pick ourselves up and go on to the next race, really.
Alright. As long as there isn't any bad blood between you.
No, won't be.
Alright. Well then, looking forward to next week. I hope you can race next week again at Spa. How do you think your chances will be there? Maybe another top 10, maybe P7 this time, maybe even higher up?
Well, yeah, I will be there next week. Spa is a difficult one. It's weird because 2016 was one of my favourite tracks, but every year I swear it's just got worse, and I've just got worse at it. No, it's a long track, so you need quite high concentration, but it's a decent track. I'm starting to pick up my pace now. It's getting faster and faster every lap I do. I've been out for so long. So eventually I want to be challenging for like around Pace's area in a few races time or in a couple of weeks time. Which I know I can get to because I was not too far off back before I took loads of breaks and whatnot. So just got to get consistent. Yeah, fight for positions like P7, P6, and if I'm lucky, P5 sort of area with retirement. So yeah, just got to keep my nose clean again, get the strategy right, hope for a safety car also, and then yeah, get comfortably in the points again. Because I believe I can be there on merit. So probably say a P7. Yeah, P7 is probably my target, to be honest.
Alright. Sounding promising, then best of luck for next week, and I guess congrats for scoring your first points, finally.
Yeah, cheers lads. Cheers to your commentary as well.
As I think Bullboy, as always, should be in a party.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Bullboy qualified unlucky 13th, but it was, I mean, far from an unlucky race. You scored points, but starting with qualifying, you obviously wasn't the most spectacular of your qualifyings ever, but everyone around you obviously qualified on soft, so did you, and with you picking hards as well, did you feel you could have done anything differently maybe at the start of the race, which would have got you up the order?
Well, I had to remember from last season what the strategy was, because I didn't know whether it was mediums or hards, because obviously F2 is like a great indicator, and of course it was wet yesterday, so but no, I mean the strategy itself today was great, you know, going from hards to mediums. Of course, those starting on the softs, I think Amanda and Brookie held up quite the train, which had a massive impact on like the first couple of laps of the race being very hectic. But yeah, I think that was the right call to go on that strategy.
Just looking as well, yeah, you got the exact same time as Edzak, which was quite incredible as well. You both did a 114.457, sorry, and obviously you were fairly upset as well on raw pace, but in the race you kind of held back at the start, seemed to be in your own zone, but got a penalty out of all things, Bullboy. And do you want to talk us through how that happened, because that's quite diabolical for your standards?
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it myself. I got a penalty. Was it lap 2?
I think lap 3 you had a penalty, so I'm not sure.
Lap 3. Yeah, so I don't know. I just went wide in a couple of places. Perhaps it was those hard tyres not having as much grip as the softs in qualifying that just put me off. But I don't know. That's yeah. I was quite annoyed because, you know, lap 3 already to get a penalty. But I think after that penalty, I never got a single warning. So and it didn't affect my race results. So yeah, that's okay. But yeah, it was quite a surprise to me.
Yeah, and around that time it was obviously kicking off right ahead from, I think it was Amanda down to about you in 13th, a 5-car battle for a couple laps, from like 5 laps, the 5th lap to the 8th lap, but constantly going side by side. Were you just waiting for the chaos and carnage to ensue? Because obviously Brookie and Amanda, their tyres fully went off the cliff, and you on your hards, despite the apparent tyre difference in terms of pace and seconds, you were actually sticking with them, if not being faster than them.
Yeah, like around lap 6, 7 when they all came in the pits, pretty much, yeah. But no, I think, like at first I tried to back off and just let them do what they were doing, but when it, you know, when I knew that, okay, I need to get past her, I made my move, so. But yeah, I mean, apart from, you know, losing time there, I don't think I could have done that race any differently to improve my result.
Yeah, definitely. You obviously were amongst the battles the whole race, defending, attacking, and getting really in amongst it. Did it probably surprise you in Hungary that you were so competitive and in amongst it, having all these battles, which you don't usually do? But you obviously were right up there in a midfield fight, and able to score points and profit from all the battles.
Oh yeah, no, of course, it's it makes a change from like some races this season by, you know, like 3 laps, I can't see anyone else in front of me because they're so far ahead, so it was nice to battle people, and yeah, like any race where like I score points in the top 10, or, you know, that's just a great result for me, because every race I don't really expect to score points unless people retire and make mistakes, so, and that's what happened today, but, you know, you gotta be there to capitalise.
Yeah, of course. And 3rd point scoring in a finish, 3rd point scoring, yeah, in a row, and you did it in Baku, France and Canada in a row. You've not scored 4 points scores in a row, I don't think. So in Belgium, do you think you can match your best of 3 and get your 3rd in a row after getting, I think it was 8th in Britain and obviously 9th in Hungary? Do you think you can once again keep the progress and capitalise on maybe some errors and a late safety car, which we actually haven't had in a while, which could possibly play into your hands?
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens in Belgium. I do like the track, but it's all up to the other drivers if they want to crash or not to, you know, give me some points. But now we'll see what happens. So yeah, I like the track. And if there's a late safety car and everyone has penalties apart from me, if I don't get a penalty by lap 3 again, then yeah, I could be winning the race, drinking some champagne. But yeah, that's not really going to happen, so... but it could happen, so you never know.
Any prediction on the amount of safety cars in Belgium? Just an early prediction to get started.
Probably 1, I'd say, and a couple VSCs, like today.
Yeah. Yeah, solid. Decent prediction. Maybe it'll happen. Hopefully a late one for your sake as well, so...
Yeah.
As always, great race, great point scoring, and well done once again to be in amongst the points and outscoring your teammate, who was a bit disappointing. But yeah.
Yep, thanks for commentary in the stream, as always, as well.
As T-Hawk, you will interview... Is it O. Stephen who's left?
I think it is.
Because I don't think David or JB are here. If Mr. O. Stephen's here, he can speak up. Okay, I guess we'll have to wrap up the stream then. Well, anyway, thanks for watching as always, and obviously the drivers racing, and thanks as always for T-Hawk for coming in last minute to commentate. That was thoroughly appreciated, and great battles all around, and hopefully we get that the same for Belgium. Catch us in a week's time for Monday F2 at 7 o'clock and Tuesday for F1 at 7 o'clock as well. And we will see who will come out on top and who will taste the champagne.